to try and get it figured out.
Yeah, so we'll just have to so when's the next time? Let's set this up really quick so we can be able to tell him something.
Yeah, Harry.
Let me know what date.
To try and go at it this again live.
Yeah, so let's circle back and let me know what your availability is.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, Robert, I forgot to make you a co-host, sorry.
That's okay.
There you go.
Perfect. So I'm going to share my desktop and let me know if you guys can see this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go back over to, I gotta move some of the stuff around. Paid campaigns. You see that one popping up right there?
Yes.
All right. So this is the one that we started working on and kind of quickly went through on the last time we met. So I just posted this ad again. So I knew it was doing pretty well, but I think I have probably 20 leads on this already. So if we go back over and take a look at this, I'll pop it back up again. That's the one we're going to create. But if we go over to my dashboard, this kind of gives you an idea of how much the leads are costing when they come in. And this is $1.20 per lead. So I sent this one to Sacramento and I did it for 10 days at $30 or $3 a day, right? And I selected different interest groups. And then I used a Facebook lead gen form. So we were kind of clear on that last time. Does anybody need clarification on any of that stuff? Please ask now, because we're going to go in and create this real quick.
It'd be really great even if you just didn't go through the exact steps, just go a quick overview so that we can, like really quick recap what you taught us in the last 2 sessions and then jump in and learn something new. If that's
okay. So yeah, what I'm gonna do this time is kind of go through. I'll show you what the ad looks like, and then we'll go back through and create it. Does that sound good?
Yes.
That sounds awesome.
All right. So this again was the ad. So this is what I'm getting in leads. If I go down and if I take a look, I thought this was a garish ad, but, and it says nothing about houses. It's not showing bathrooms or front yards or anything. All it is a kind of a hook to get somebody to look at your ad and go, oh, there's hot buys on Maui. Click here. I want to learn more. Incoming lead. So there's, I've heard from people, well, I want good qualified leads. Well, good qualified leads are the leads that you follow up with and nurture. They're not coming in all ready to buy $1 million house on Maui, right? So let's take a look at this one. This one has been, it started on the 25th. And it looks like this one has 5 leads. The one I ran before it ran for 10 days and I got 17 leads. And then this one I ran for another 10 days and I got 15 leads. So this ad does seem to perform, right? And it has nothing really to do with photograph of real estate, but it is a way for somebody who doesn't have a listing, who really wants to attract buyers in a certain geographic area. This is how I go about doing it. So we'll get back in. We'll go into campaigns. And I might have to move some pieces around here, so bear with me. Create a new campaign. And we are recording this, so you don't have to take extensive notes unless you're planning on doing it right after class. this is going to be a social paid ad. And we're attracting buyers. And I go down and select Facebook only. And I say set up campaign. It's going to say, what is the name? I'm going to enter this one as test. But you can, you know what, the good part about this is when you get a lead from these and you have multiple ads running, if you name it, let's say I name this one Sacramento ad and I name another one Alaska ad or another one Kihei ad, right? At least when the lead comes in, I know which ad they came off of. So if I have different copies of different ads saying different things, then I know how to respond to them when I call them back. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Set up the campaign. So we're not going to add a listing to this one. You could, but we're not going to. Here we're going to add our main copy. And all I really do here is I put in some emojis. So there are some shortcut keys. So if I hit, on a Mac, if I hit Shift and colon, it'll bring up different emojis. Or I can just go down here to the smiley face and click on all the different emojis here. And let's say I want to put in a thumbs up. Always space in between emojis because you don't want them crammed up, right? So space, and then it does take away from your word count, so be mindful of that. I like the hibiscus flower because it's eye-catching, so I call it a hibiscus flower. You can load this up with a couple different emojis. So here I just put in something simple like owning property on Maui. Maybe easier than you think, right? So, and then you'll see where it populates over on this side. Let me get this set up. So bear with me just a second. My typing is atrocious. And then maybe a couple different emojis there, right? Put in some there. And this is up here. You might want it here. You might want to put in click, learn more below to see all the art reduced home prices island wide. And then a few more emojis if you so choose, right? Maybe that, maybe a rainbow. Oh, sorry. Rainbow. So on a Mac, it makes it a little bit easier to add the emojis because there's an emoji bar at the top of the keyboard. So enter the headline. Headline here is going to be, you can say reduced home prices, or you can say hot buys, however you want to word it. Some people think hot buys is good. I do either or, reduced home prices or hot buys. And then some emojis here. I like maybe the I call it a bang, and then this finger pointing the right way. And I might put in a little bit more verbiage here, and I'll show you what happens. I'm just going to type V's. See how it moves it over? So you're actually going to be pointing at that learn more thing. So it kind of gives, you know, if they see the finger, then it kind of points to where they're supposed to click. That makes sense to everybody? You can put in a
Yes.
little bit more verbiage there. Add media. So we're going to take a look here. And what we're going to do is we're going to select media for this campaign, and we're going to select an image. It's already going to place our Keller Williams DBA logo on the ad, and you can choose whether to put it on the right or the left, depending on how you do this design template in Designs. So let's say I go in and I say select media for this campaign, and I'm going to add an image, and I'm going to browse my design library. So there's two different ways you can do this. You can go into Designs, and you can create your design, and you just do a social ad. Is everybody clear on that, or do we want to go back over and show you how that takes place?
You could go back. That'd be great if anybody doesn't object.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add one here, and then we'll finish up this process, and then I'll go back over and show you how to create a quick copy in Designs. Does that sound good?
Yes, Robert.
Yes.
Right, thank you.
Yes, Robert.
So here, if I'm looking for, let's say I've created an ad copy in here. I've got a lot of things that I play with in Design. So just click one, right? So this one, we're gonna say, this is a catching one. Notice how it says preview and crop and it doesn't look quite right here. So to make sure that you're in the right aspect. So if I say square, it's going to crop off part of the edges of my thing, and I want a bi-coastal view here. So I want to make sure that I am in wide, because that's Facebook dimensions. Save ad, then it puts it there, right? So it's over here now. So I did this in Designs. It's all ready to go. Owning property may be easier than you think. Reduce home prices, any more verbiage that I want. Keller Williams DBA logo. Well, I already put one in my design template, so I don't need to put one here. So I'm gonna leave this blank and not have anything come in, because it'll put it in kind of a weird spot over here, or it'll put it in a weird spot over here. If I design it in, I don't have to add it here.
Okay.
So, and then the Facebook ad, we're going to configure. We have to select the page, your business page that you're going to use. So let's say notice it says right here, Keller Williams. If once I choose Island Key Maui, it swaps over to my logo and gives me credit for it there, right?
Okay.
So then the second step here is destination. So once they click on this learn more button, what's going to happen? So we're going to use a Facebook lead generation form, and it's going to say learn more. So I actually said in my description, click the learn more button. So you don't want to say learn more and then come down here and choose one of the other options, which is sign up, apply now. Learn more is less, kind of less in your face, right? So learn more. And then here's where, once they click learn more, I'm going to send them. So in this ad, I spoke about, maybe easier than you click learn more to see all the reduced home prices island-wide. So my goal here is to send them to a website, which I'm going to come back over and go to luckylivemaui.com, which is my vanity name. Oh, I can't see because everything's there. Pepper me with questions, guys. I'll handle your questions. Something's not right, so hold on. LCK. Okay, so this should take me to my KW page, right? And what I do is, once I'm in here, I want to search something. So searching my current location is fine, right? But what I really want to look at is the more button right here. Does everybody see where my cursor is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. click the more button, and this is a scrollable piece. Scroll down to the very bottom, and the second one from the bottom is reduced prices. Turn that on. So now you've adjusted your search. The URL, or Uniform Resource Locator, basically your internet address, changes up here, right? So what I want to do is, if you watch up here as I zoom out, that's going to change. See how it changed up there? So you get a different URL for each zoom level that you're in. Does that make sense for you guys?
Oh.
So you can't copy out the URL and then start zooming and say, this is what I expect them to see. You have to copy the one after you found it. Does that make sense? So this is now looking at all of the homes in the map view that are reduced price. So I've tried this on Zillow, can't do it. I've tried this on Realtor.com, can't do it. At least I haven't found a way to do it. Not as easily as I can here. So you can sort this by recently updated, price, living area, or days on market. So maybe you want to select days on market. This should change. And there you go. It's this one. This property is a Pukalani, and it's $60,000 reduction, $19,000 reduction. But everything in here is going to be reduced. So this is what I want to send them to, right? So maybe I want to zoom out a little bit more and get the whole island in there. So that's kind of my setup, and it changes 350 properties, right? So pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool. Robert, can you do the same things you're doing over here on your website on the KW app? You can do it on the phone.
You can, yeah. Yeah, you just have to click the same more button and then reduce
Oh.
prices, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Now, here's the difference between the app and the website. The website shows the address URL. The app doesn't show an address bar up top because it would take up too much room on your phone. So the way you would do it on your phone is you would save that search. Once the search is saved, then you can send the saved search to somebody.
Oh, I
That's
see.
the way
Okay.
that's kind of the way that works, right?
Yeah.
So we've got this. We've copied out our URL. I'm just going to right click and say copy. I'm going to go back over. Let me move some of my meeting controls out of the way. And come back over to, where were we? Target my day. Oh, URL. So this is where we're going to take them. I just paste that in. See how it said zoom level 10? That was the actual final zoom level that I was at here. See how it says zoom 10? So this is the page that they'll see when they click learn more. So questions on that?
Robert, can you go back again from your website, how to drill down to that again?
Sure. So let's go back out. Let me just back out of this. I'll just go back into Lucky Live Maui because it does give you a little bit of a learning curve to get in there. L-U-C-K-Y Maui. So if I go here, the standard thing in the standard website is going to take you right here, right? And then you're going to be like, how do I find the more button? Well, you don't yet. What you want to do is let it find your location or search for a location. So if I just put in Kihei, I select Kihei here. It's going to find Kihei. Now I've got the more button.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So now I zoom out just to get the island, right? That's way too far out. That's way too far in. So this is showing me, because I just typed in Kihei, it's showing me only Kihei. So I clear this out, right? So I'm just searching now the entire island, and it's just going to turn super black with listings, 351. If I come down here, click more, maybe it's already, yeah, it's still already checked. So once you've checked this and all you're seeing is reduced price properties, remember you have to go back in and uncheck this to see more. So if I just click this off, it's going to show, I think, 1,400, 1,300, whatever it is, 1,000 plus. So it doesn't tell you exactly how many. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
That's pretty
So
cool.
by getting that URL and pasting it, it will have your information on there. If it's,
Yes, that's the cool part. That's the cool part. If I scroll down to the bottom of this, I can get to a place that doesn't adjust the, because I selected, let me go back in on the map because it's, what I want to do is scroll down to the bottom of this page, but it will show my information down here, right? And it actually brings them to, brings the customer to my website. So they can click any of the pages, Facebook stuff, you know, I've got my logo up here. It takes them to my page, not a standard, not an unbranded top level KW page. Make sense?
cool, yeah.
So we get back over here. We know that that's where they're going to go when they click learn more. We use ad targeting, custom settings, target a custom audience. This is where you select, let's say I want to select Alaska. And Anchorage, we'll stick with Anchorage. 20-mile radius. You know, if it's more of a rural area, let's say you're picking Kansas, you might want to go 50. It has to do with population density. Think of it that way. If you let's say you select San Francisco and you do 50-mile radius, your ad spend is going to go like that because it has so many people to hit. If you select a tighter circumference and you say 20 miles, I think you get a better play on your ad spend. So kind of a way to think about that.
Okay.
And then here, interests, add or change interests. So make sure this is always or. Does anybody need clarification on the difference between and or or?
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm going to select an interest, you like popsicles and you like cats, right? Both of those things have to be true for me to send my ad to you. If I say you like popsicles or you like cats, either one of those can be true and you will still see my ad. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so always or, because and is inclusive. You have to like popsicles and cats and all of the other things, right?
Okay.
So here we just go down through, and my rule of thumb is I pick 40 of these. And I make, there's a whole bunch of them to pick, so just spend some time. And here's where you'll benefit from this, is once the ad is approved and you're generating leads, and you know that this is a good ad copy, when you get into that first piece that I showed you, you can just say copy the ad, and all of this will remain. All of your audiences will remain. You know that works, then you can go forward with that. So it does take a little bit of trial and error, but things that you would want to put in, real estate investing, I would possibly stay away from brokers, but where was that? Realtor.com, I think, is up there, right? Realtor.com Pro, sure, why not? No, it's a small audience, 351,000, so it's not worthwhile. But Rent.com, that's a decent one. That's 2 million, right? 2,960,000. Trulia is in here. You want to make sure you hit Trulia, and you want to make sure that you hit Zillow. So anybody that's already on the web looking at Zillow stuff, they have in that area that you've selected, they have probably a good chance that they're going to see your ad. It's just whether or not they click on it, right? What does your ad look like? Is there enough eye candy to make them actually click on it? So I stick with the rule of thumb, pick about 40 of these, Zillow, Realtor.com, go back up through and select things that are relevant to real estate, or in a roundabout way, you know, if people are looking at the stock market, maybe they're going to sell some stock and move to Maui, you know, that kind of thing. Not that I could ever do that, but you know what I mean. So that makes sense there?
Yes.
All right, then we save the Facebook ad. We've got that done. There's notice these green check boxes. They're already, these, if they're green, you've done something good in there and you're ready to go to the next step. Duration, scroll down. It's going to say today's the 16th, so it's going to go tomorrow until the 27th, 10 days, $3 a channel. Save duration and budget. You can adjust this if you want. You could spend 25. You could spend 50. I like 30 is a comfortable thing for me because I'm getting a decent return on it. So that's it. And publish campaign. So when you publish, I'm going to go ahead and publishing is going to ask me for my credit card. Which card do you want to use, right? And then create campaign. If I say save as a draft, because I'm not sure I want to do this yet, we'll save it as a draft. And then here I should get that one that says test draft, right?
Okay.
And here you can duplicate the campaign or you can edit the campaign. Once you've run an ad or it's active, you can duplicate, download, edit. You can't really edit an active. You can edit the name. So if you forgot to name it, and this was still a Wailuku ad and it was going to Sacramento, you could edit the name. So it's a little bit restrictive on what you can edit. So yeah, you can get one all ready to go. Put it in draft form. If you click on your name right here, it'll bring up that ad and show you kind of what it looks like. Well, actually what it looks like. It may take a little bit of, it says will be available soon, so we can't see that yet. I'll show you on one that's already running. Click on your name, it comes up, shows you the post, and you'll see here how this was all done in Designs, this picture. So I just put in 3 emojis, the text, check out all the price reductions, threw in a logo down here, bet hot buys on Maui, and then click learn more. It does the same thing. That's all it does is take them to that Lucky Live Maui page, zoomed out, and shows them all the 350 reduced price properties on Maui. Seems to be a pretty good hook, unless you have a listing that you want to, you know, listings are good too, but it seems to be all about hot buys or views. So if you can publish, you know, like that Mitch Tempo, that one that has bi-coastal views, that does pretty good. And then this one with hot buys that really doesn't say anything about real estate does pretty good, other than, you know, some of the verbiage.
So, Robert, your picture. Now, I don't think you took that picture, right?
That's correct. I did not.
So, do you have to get permission to use pictures that are online?
Thank you for asking that question, because I meant to say something about it. Write this down. It's a website called Pexel, P-E-X-E-L, Pexel.com. And those are royalty-free photos that you can use. So you can find Hawaii photos, hula photos, anything you want on that, and those are free to use.
Thank you.
Yep.
So Robert, when you stop a campaign, I don't know, for whatever reason, say you stop it, can you
Yes.
start it again? Or once you stop it, then it's POW?
You know, I haven't stopped any of my campaigns. I would assume you could restart it, but that's a good question. I'll check on that and make sure. I don't know. I know that ad spend, if I click on the payments button up here, it should show me how much ad spend. So I've played around in this a little bit. And if I go to Facebook and then click on all campaigns, this is getting updated. So I haven't been back in and looked, but it'll show me credits applied. So if I let's say this one here, Perfect Life, there was a credit applied and the budget was set at 30 and they applied a credit. So if I go up here, any previous credits that were able to be applied to a specific campaign. So I need more clarification on this, but my rule of thumb is if I start a campaign, unless I notice something horribly wrong with it, that's why I save it as draft first and then go back and check it. I don't usually stop it. I let it go. There, because sometimes it'll take a couple of days for the ads to actually, or the leads to start coming in. So, and I get a little nervous during that period of time and I think, oh, I should stop this. I should do something else. Maybe that was the wrong emoji to use or something. Just let it go. Let it go. Yeah, you actually have to test the waters, and there's no better way to do that than staying in the water, right?
Yeah. Or maybe, is it because maybe if you stop the campaign, because you said you can't edit an active one. So maybe you would use that to edit it and then make it go active again? I don't know.
Well, editing, if I go into an active campaign, let me get back out of here. I covered up some of my buttons. Latasha, I'm taking over your time. I'm sorry. I'm gonna, let me get back to.
I wonder if it's a default with command that if you stop it, just thinking out loud,
Right.
that if you wanted to restart it again, would you just have to go in like you've done before and just duplicate that ad and then start it over? Because I know outside of command with Facebook Manager, you can start and stop campaigns freely. But I don't know if that's a limitation with command, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I've got 3 active ads running right now, and I'm kind of, I don't want to stop it in case that then all of a sudden I have to. So if I go into this one right here and I say edit campaign, I get to edit the name, and I could edit the location saying, okay, well, I did 5 of the 10 days in Alaska and the other 5 of the 10 days is in Sacramento. I could move it that way. And I've tried that a couple of times and I haven't found it to be super productive. But you see, so you're limited here by what you can do, right?
What you can edit. Okay, you're only limited in what you can edit. Okay.
Right. So with that, we were going to run back over into designs really fast.
Okay, one other question, a dumb question. When you're saying stop the campaign, isn't it stopped if you put in the 10 days, doesn't it stop there?
It does, yeah. Your spend is your spend, and it is for the duration that you've specified. So during that duration, if you decide to stop it, you can.
Okay.
Has there any time, Robert, that when you say you put a budget of $30, that during the 10 days it was less than the 30 that you've budgeted for, or will it use up all the 30?
They're pretty good at using up everything. So it's not that you have to think about the ad spend. They're putting, horizontal bars up, and they're putting these kind of bars up. And if you take a look at the ad copy, there are a bunch of different types of ads that when you spend the money, they go ahead and do. It's not just, we tend to think about a Facebook post. It's not just the post that they're advertising. It's bars, it's horizontals, it's little tiny bugs. They put it in front of as many people as they can for you.
Okay.
As many different ways. So if I go back over into this, and I think right, this is the draft. So let me see if I can edit this one, and I'll show you different types of ad pieces that they'll be doing, right? So if you do, you see how you set up here and it says, this is just our preview of what we're doing. So this is one piece they will send out. But if you drop this down and you can see what a mobile feed looks like, once it's published, you can see a few more things that come up. So they're not just publishing that layout. They're doing a whole bunch of different layouts to get your ad. I'm sure they have algorithms that, say, this works better than this, try this, and it all happens automatically on the back end with Facebook. Any other questions?
I do have one, Robert. Before we go in, I want to have you check something while we have your screen up. So if you can go back to campaigns. Because I have something that I'm not able to see on mine. So go to social posts. So then when you're going into your social post oops.
Yep, I just did a month view instead of the week
Yeah,
view.
no worries. So when you're going, can you just say for Thursday, where it says today, Thursday, July 16th? So is that one that you are already,
This is one I've already posted to multiple pages. Yeah.
Gotcha. So if you could do me a favor and go up to like you're going to do a new post, if you can, just for one quick second, because I want to see.
Looks very much like the Facebook ad, right? So
yeah. So then when you go down, do you have an option for Instagram? Because I saw it last night and I didn't see. It's not on there today. It just has like Facebook and Twitter. I don't see one for Instagram.
Connect to Facebook, connect to Twitter. I do not see Instagram either, but
It was there earlier.
I know. So I'm just like, what the heck? So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and go ahead and at least talk about it. And then we'll have to figure out, because while you were doing your Q&A, I was like, oh my God, where's the IG one at? So
right.
Okay,
So,
good. So it's not me. I was just like, wait a minute. Okay.
I'm kind of stunned by that because it has been there in the past, and
I know. So okay. So
Facebook ad, it does show Instagram there, but social posts, for whatever reason, right now it's not.
okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me. So whew, feel good. All right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna back away from that, and I'll let you.
Awesome. Okay.
You want me to unshare?
Yes, please.
All right.
So we're gonna mix it up just a little bit. So bear with me. Can you see my screen? All right, we're gonna do a little giveaway just to like get it going here. Are we ready?
Ready.
Okay. So this is for a Jamba Juice gift certificate that I will send to you. So let's see who is the winner. Woo! Wait for it. Yay!
Yeah. Who doesn't love Jamba Juice? Awesome.
All right. So
Good
let's.
choice.
So can you still see my screen, or is it still stuck on the
Wheel
wheel
of
name?
Fun. Wheel
Yeah.
of
The
Fun.
Okay.
wheel.
Yeah. Let me go back here. All right. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Come on.
Latasha, where are you putting the other two presentations when you did Facebook 1 and 2?
So they are on the YouTube channel already, and then they will also be emailed out. So two ways.
Okay. So when you email them this time, it's going to be number 3, or you're going to email the link to 1?
When I email them out, I always include 1 and 2 as well. So it'll be 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, be great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, so I'm pretty proud of our work. Just wanted to shout out for our image. So our new image for Tech Wizards is maximize your database. And so I'm pretty pumped about that. So we're gonna do the post, behind the post, and resource. So exactly what Robert did, we're gonna look at a post, we're gonna talk about the behind the scenes of the post, and then we're gonna go into resources. So I do want to cover really quickly the marketing tips, and you can take some notes, but this will be within the recording. So seven tips. So you want to leverage your bio link. It's going to make more sense when you actually see the post, and I'll point it out. With IG, you cannot successfully integrate links, or you cannot integrate links into your post. On Facebook, you can. IG, even though they're owned by the same company, you can't. So we will get around that by adding the link in the bio, and I'll explain that in a minute. So you want to be exclusive, meaning you want to deliver exclusive content. So for example, if you're posting a listing or advertising a listing on Facebook, you want to either use a different image that you're using on Facebook and different verbiage, because that way you can add some exclusive content. So making sure that what they see on your IG feed, if you choose to go into IG and start using that, it'll be different. The topic will be the same, but just the presentation will be different. Leveraging hashtags. We're going to talk about that in terms of resources, but to get around the lack of links, you can also integrate hashtags. And then you want to build relationships. So you want to have conversations with other influencers. These are people that have more followers than you. So you want to look at popular accounts that are specifically rated for you. It would be real estate, anything related to that, brand or industry within the industry. And then be sure to post on other influencers in terms of comments. Make sure that when you're posting on other realtor, feeds, that you also are doing emojis. I would encourage you to do a combination of words and emojis to make sure that your rankings on the back end start going to the top. And so the example that I have is a Zoom presentation idea, which I'll share that when I get to the actual post, and I'll walk you through again those marketing steps. So then you also want to make sure you have a place a call to action for each post. We're going to look at that as well. And creating content for your account, ensure that you have strong CTA, call to action. Sixth thing is going to be analyze your Instagram insights. The key to this is that if you're going to utilize Instagram, you need to make sure that you set up a business account. You can only analyze, manage, check to see how effective your ads are if you are using Instagram underneath a business account. And then seventh, final thing in terms of marketing tips is cross promotion works wonders. Use your website, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, if you have those platforms. For example, I will say in my IG feed, hey, whatever I'm advertising, then I'll say, make sure you check my Facebook for XYZ. Or if I'm on Facebook, I'll say, make sure you checked in my LinkedIn for whatever, or IG. So you always want to cross promote all of your various platforms with other platforms. So I'm gonna stop talking for just a minute about the marketing tips and see if there are any quick questions before I move on to the actual post. Any questions so far? All right, so then the post. Let's do this one. All right. So can you see my screen in terms of now you see the wheel? Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and do you see now my little details Instagram? Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is the actual post. So when you are, how you get onto Instagram, you can do one of two things. You can go from a desktop PC or Mac, you can go to Instagram.com and you can sign up. So the key thing for Instagram, and some of you already know, is that you can go in and set up your account and you can edit your profile on a desktop. But if you're trying to do anything in terms of actually posting, you would need to go into your actual, you need to download the app on your phone and then utilize the app, because Instagram primarily was made for mobile social app sharing. And so that's the designation behind that. So let's actually look at this post, which I want to show you. Let me see if it'll refresh it, because it didn't show up the post that I wanted. Okay, so this, you see this post right here?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's click on this. So this is a post that I did last night. So again, going back to marketing tips, it said pop-up giveaway, which was my title. And then I said, during our Zoom presentation tomorrow, which is today, this is for my business, not for KW. I directed them to the date, time, and then we'll have the ultimate giveaway. And so then I utilized an emoji, and then I said, someone will win a complimentary ticket, emoji again. I'm tagging Chef Lee, and I'm gonna pull up Chef Lee's Instagram information in a minute. So she has a lot of followers. And so some of you may know Chef Lee if you're on Maui. So she owns Sugar Beach Events. And so she's got over like 7,000 people. And so when I was getting ready to do a Zoom presentation, I was mindful of who I wanted to be my guest speaker so that I can tag her. And when I'm tagging her, that gives me an introduction or a window into more followers. And so then I say, this is the giveaway. It's going to be a $90 value. The Zoom link is in my bio. Must be present to win. See you tomorrow, my call to action. Then I had 5 hashtags, relevant hashtags, Sugar Beach Events. So anytime someone is going to hashtag Sugar Beach, my feed will come up as well. Taste of Summer, that's her title of her series. So anytime they say, anytime anyone goes into Taste of Summer hashtags, my feed will come up. Again, pop-up restaurant, that's a popular feed. So again, my Instagram handle is going to come up. What's next? Again, it's going to come up, and then obviously my branded hashtag for my company. Then she tagged me back. And so that's the actual post. So I want to go back into the bio. So that's just kind of my, some of my feeds. So when you set up an account with Instagram, you have whatever, your handle is. I just stick consistently with my name. You can edit the profile here by clicking on it. And then you can go into change password, all of those things. And we don't want to do that. So let's go back here. Someone just sent me some love. So there we go. All right. So I just got a new follower, if you saw that. So here, going back to the bio, so it gives you how many posts you did, how many followers, how many people you're following. Here, when you're doing your bio for Instagram, it's easier to be short, specific, to the point, and then adding emojis. This increases your SEO on the back end. So I got, very specific, custom designs, innovative planning, an emoji, Maui Event Planning Company. That tags me from a geo perspective or geographic location. And then contact us today, very quick. And so when I was promoting that Zoom presentation, I utilized this link is normally for your website, but this is a way around how to incorporate links. So for you, if you were doing a landing page that you created, you could sub this out, put in your landing page. You could do whatever you want to do in terms of utilizing this. So that's how you get around the links as it relates to Instagram. So here, these are called stories. So some of you that are on Instagram, you know about stories. They're pretty much short highlight stories that, and I'll show you a more screenshot of all of this. So if I wanted to click on what's next to see what story I wanted to highlight, it'll come up. Well, it should come up, but it's not. So let's try this one. Oh, it's not working. I'll have to see why it's, so in theory, let's do, no, I don't want to do that. So in, oh, wait a minute, let's see what this is. Oh, so I'll have to figure out why that is defaulting. But What's Next is a short story that I want to highlight. That's a series that goes back to my Zoom presentation. There was a September design that I did, modern trends, what I did, zero waste in terms of what I'm referring back to what I'm doing, and then just for two. So basically your stories is your short highlights. For you, it might be all different listings. So you can highlight these different listings. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute before I shift to the next thing. But any questions? Because I want to go into how I created the post in Instagram. Any quick questions or any clarifying questions I need to make at this time?
Latasha, I'm a little bit confused about the when you talked about the Zoom. How is that relevant? I don't get it.
Yes. Okay. So here's the relevancy. Great question. So let's say, for example, for you, you want to create an Instagram account. Then
Yeah.
you want to be able to highlight a specific listing.
Mm-hmm.
What you would do is, for example, if you had a YouTube link with a video, and or if you wanted to promote the landing page of that listing with
Mhm.
your HTML, what you would do is you would take that link and you would put it right here. And then when people go into your Instagram account, when you make a post, you can put that, embed that link where your website goes, and then they can click directly on that link and do whatever additional call to action you have. So I was just giving you a concrete example with the Zoom presentation of how to effectively take a YouTube video link of any kind or any type of link and utilize that, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to have those kind of links or integrate that link. Does that make sense what I'm saying, or do I need to say it differently?
No, it does, but why is it showing up in your profile? I guess I'm confused. Why do you have it here on this page?
Because that's, yeah, great question. So I'm sorry, I misunderstood. You have to have it in your profile, otherwise you're not going to be able to maximize it. So on Instagram, you cannot put any type of links in your post. So that's why you have to put it in your bio. Yes.
Hey,
So
look,
it's part of your bio, but then it will show up also to people visiting your Instagram.
Well, here's what happens most of the time. Oh, Robert, did you want to jump in before I go and explain further?
I just wanted, I was going to ask for you to show us where you actually put that link in. Is that in under your profile under the website piece?
Yes. So here's what you would do. So you go to edit profile. So edit profile, you have your name, again, my personal name, and then you have your username. This is where your website was. So normally when you first create your Instagram, you would put your website, you know, if your website's name is Home for Sale, you will put Home for Sale in there. How you integrate and utilize links moving forward, you cannot put a link of your website or any kind that you're trying to refer people back to. You can't put it directly in the post. So you have to utilize this website link category in order to have an effective use of any website link.
So for example, if somebody was to click on your profile after seeing one of your stories, they would see that link.
Exactly.
Got
and
it.
So here, now the thing you want to, let's see, let's go back here. Keep in mind this, and my internet's a little slow, hold on. Keep in mind this. If you're going to integrate any type of link and you want to maximize people looking at it, all of your posts that are down here has to directly tie back into whatever you've used here. So the reason why I have taken out the website link to my website and utilize the meeting registration is because that's what I'm promoting now. And so whatever you're trying to promote for now, that's what you want to maximize in that website category. So if you're advertising a specific listing and you have a separate landing page, that is what you do for the next month or however long you're advertising. And then once you're done with that advertising, then you can go back to your website or go back to whatever. But this is how you maximize whatever you're trying to promote. Does that add more clarity around that?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So you can only do one. You cannot
You can only,
do one.
you can only
And
do
if they
one.
click on any of your posts, any single one, it will take them always to that, you know, to that.
Exactly. So that's why you have to be very specific in Instagram if you're going to advertise or you want to use a separate link. You've got to be very, you know, if it's going to be for a week, that's as long as it's going to be for a week. So for example, today, once I'm done with my Zoom presentation separate for my business, what I'm going to do at the end of the day is I'm going to go to edit profile. I'm going to delete this and go back and put my website link. And then the next time I'm promoting something else, I'll go in and change out my website address and put in whatever else.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So I'm going to stop sharing and go into one more thing. And I think it is this one. Yeah, this one. Yes. Okay, so that was the marketing tips. So here's how the post looks. So when you go into IG post, the first thing is going to pop up. Here's what the end post look like. Remember that? So then you have your name again, your branded name at the bottom, your header here, or in terms of your logo. Then these little 3 dots, you would be able to, in a perfect world, you would be able to click on that and then it would tell you what you want to do. At the bottom, this is the actual post. Then you have the number of people that loved it. You'll be able to click on here and you'll be able to see comments. Then this sharing button will allow you to share. And so this is your home screen when you're on the first image is your home screen. And so you have home at the bottom where you can go back to your specific feed, which we just were on. If you wanted to do a search, you would hit your search button there. If you wanted to add another post, you would hit add here. And then if you wanted to see how many people loved you or commented, you could click on this heart and it would let you see who that was. And then if you wanted to click here, you would go back to your home page. So let's envision this being on your actual mobile device. So can you see my mobile phone? See it?
Yep.
Okay, so let's just say I'm on my mobile phone and I'm actually going to pull up IG, and sorry you can't see this, but let me go back here. So can you see that part?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where we are in theory. And so we would go and we would click on the plus sign at the bottom. Once you get the plus sign, then you're going to get this next screen. So then it's going to say, it's going to auto-populate or load in all of the photos that you have on your camera. So this is an image or a photo that I have on my camera. You could click this drop-down button here, and it would take you to, like if you've got folders like that says, if you, like for me, I've separated all of my images on my phone. So I have like business, personal, whatever it is, favorites. So you click the image that you want. Then again, this down here would show you all the images that were on my phone. You see that it's on library. So then I click next if this is the image that I want. Then the next time you go, you'll go click next. This is the next screen that you'll see. This is the filters. So you can have normal, you can do, whoops, I don't want to do that quite yet. You can do normal, you can do Claritin, you can do ginger ham, you can go whatever you want. You can filter it. And then once you get to filter and you're ready to post this actually to Instagram, let me move this because it's in my way, but I know you can't see it. So then it says it capitalized yes. It reminds you that yes, you want to do a new post. It reminds you this is the image that you selected. You write your caption here, and then you tag people. If you want to tag people, you can add a location. Mine is always on my little details, but you can add whatever you want. Then you can say post to other accounts. It would be, I've got several different accounts. You can also post this to Facebook and Twitter or Tumblr if you have on any of those, and then you hit share. Again, this is directly in IG because for whatever reason, IG is not showing up on command. So this is the way that you go into Instagram only to post. We'll have to do another one to figure out why IG is not showing up on command. It was last night, and earlier this morning. I'm not sure why it's not showing up now. So any clarifying questions about the process of what each category or which slides get you to the post?
Quick question. Who owns Instagram? It's Facebook, right?
Yeah, it's Facebook. Facebook owns it.
Okay.
Any other questions? Oops. So sample grid, I'm going to go back to this, but when you want to do a sample grid, you can go into resource. So let me take a step back. Sample grid is this. Whenever you're trying to be effective on Instagram, you want to make sure that when people look at your Instagram in its totality, that you've got great images with great color hues. So all of these are things that I've done. And so those images, you know, have a nice feel to them in terms of color and combination. And so in order to do that effectively, you want to write this down or keep this in mind, later.com. However, for you, command also will do that for you, but command will only allow you to post it. It won't allow you to create this grid to make sure your grid looks aesthetically pleasing. So you can also integrate later.com if you wanted to do that. I know Robert has another hashtag that you can also verify hashtags that are working. You saw that on Facebook. You can also do that in Instagram. There is a tailwind hashtag, and then I know Robert's going to weigh in on another one. So let me get out of here.
Yeah, hashtags. I'm kind of a lazy hashtagger, so I look for apps that do some of this stuff for me. So there's a hashtag app. So let's say I put in selling homes on Maui, and it creates 25 different hashtags, and I can just pick the ones that I want to use, and it has emojis built into the hashtags, and so it's kind of a neat, easy, lazy man's way to do it. So
What's that called again?
well, it's an app, so I go to the App Store. I don't know if you're Google or if you're iPhone, but if you're on iPhone, I use the app called #me. It's just, there's a couple different ones out there. I picked one and went with it. So.
Okay.
So any questions? Clarifying questions. I'm back at can you see my home screen for my edit for Instagram?
Yeah.
Any clarifying questions about the bio Instagram in general?
I think it was a great tip on that website, though. I like that.
No questions? Any other questions?
Android has #me as well.
Okay, that's
Hey, Latasha, how do I search you up on Instagram and follow you? How does that work? Because I'm kind of
Let me see if it'll let me. So I wanted to go to Sugar Beach for a minute. Yeah. Whoops.
Well, it says I've just taken the first step to becoming even more popular. I'm excited.
Yeah, so this is, remember I told you about Sugar Beach? Remember one of the marketing tips was whatever industry you're in, you want to be able to connect with other social media influencers. So Sugar Beach has over 8,000 followers. So that's the reason why I chose to partner with her on my event. So you see here how she utilized her website link where she changed it. So she's got her Taste of Summer event that's going on. Remember I mentioned that? And she's doing a pop-up. So she utilized that, the website field or category to refer people directly back to what she's promoting at that particular time. So this is her feed in terms of social, in terms of Instagram. So I can send her a message, I can follow her. So then what you do to answer your question, Robert, you can either go to your search and you can type in, I probably can't do it because I'm logged in now.
Right.
But so for example, Maui Mondays, I think we all know who that is. Do we all know who that is? Adam Miller. So I could message him, I could follow him, which I already am. And then that's how you would do it. So you would go into your search category, you would type in whatever person. So for you, Robert, you would type in little details and then my name would come up and then it'll allow you to follow me. So this is the person. So it shows you that I'm followed. Robert, what's your handle? Are you on Instagram? I know you are.
It might be Lucky Live Maui.
Let's see.
Like I said, I'm kind of a newbie at it. So
This one?
no.
Nope.
Down
Lucky,
far.
is this, no?
I'm not doing a really good job at being there, so. One of those look right. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I saw one. Who is another person? Is anybody else here on the call that's on Facebook or excuse me, on Instagram?
I am.
Who is that?
Chris Haig Maui.
Chris Haig. Oops.
And I had a quick question for you. How easy is it to create stories?
Super easy. Oh, here you are. So I'm not following him. So once you type it in, I'm not following him, but now I am. So I just hit follow. And now I'm one of his followers. So Chris, to answer your question, on your phone, so do you post on your phone or how do you post to your Instagram?
I post on my phone.
Okay, so when you post on your phone, if you can grab it really quick, do you have a minute?
Yep.
Okay, so when you pull up your Instagram, all the people that you're following, it will show up their feed. So at the very bottom, it should have your logo or your Chris Egg on the right-hand side at the very bottom. You see that?
No.
Okay. So then can you see my phone?
Yes.
Okay, so where it says my branded little details and it says your story, you see that?
I don't see that. Where's?
So at the very top.
Very top, okay.
And then it's to the left. It should either have your image, your headshot.
Oh, okay, my headshot,
Yeah.
okay.
So then click on your story. And then immediately it's going to access your camera. And
yes.
You'll be able to, and then you'll see like a little wheel. You see that wheel? Do I have it right?
Yes.
Okay, so click on that wheel. And then that will allow you to make sure you have everything saved and hit done out of that. So then your arrow, okay. Give me just one quick second, I got too fast. So at the bottom, you see that?
No, you're wrong. It's not showing up.
See it now or no?
Okay, yeah.
So at the bottom, you'll see it'll be like a little icon on the left-hand side, and you click on that icon, and then your camera wheel should show up.
Correct.
Okay, so then from there, you would click on whatever image that you want, and you would go through your post that way, and then that story will pop up. And it'll allow you to edit.
It'll allow you to put the name of the story.
Yes, yes. So if you want me to, if you want to ping me, I'll be more than happy to have a separate conversation with you and walk you through it. But that's essentially how you would go to create a story.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Latasha, try Lucky Maui again and see if it came up. I just changed my name. I'm just curious if I did it right. It's probably gonna, oh, there it is.
There you are.
Yep.
Yay. Okay. So now I'm following you.
All right. So it is proper etiquette to follow back. Is that how that
Yes.
works?
Yes,
Okay.
for you and Chris as well. You don't have to, but it
Yeah.
helps. Okay. Any other questions? I'm gonna stop sharing.
Good information. Yay.
There was something in the chat. Oh, so could you please touch up on how to post a story? Rosaline, are you still here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. Is that still a question you have?
No, that's okay. You already went through it. So thank you, Latasha.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, so the recording will go out hopefully tomorrow, and it will be uploaded to YouTube as well. So you'll be able to follow it on YouTube. And then we'll send that out. And then if you need more of a tutorial on Instagram and or Facebook, reach out to the email, and then we could either have Robert do it or I can do it. And then Robert and I are going to put our brain power together and figure out why Instagram is not showing up on command, because that's what I wanted to show you, how to do it in command, but I had to kind of pivot and do it on the actual IG platform. But hopefully that was a good overview. And then, you know, if you want to dial in, as you can see, I utilize Instagram a lot. I'd be more than happy to help you. I mean, I do Facebook as well, but Instagram is really my primary method of communication. So any follow-up questions? Other than that, we're good.
I have one quick question, Latasha. You said that your Instagram account should be a business account.
Well, let me take a step back. I'm only saying that if you want to utilize your insights. And so insights is your back-end way to measure how effective your ads are. So that's what I was saying. So you can definitely have your own personal IG feed, but if you want to be able to track, like when you start doing paid ads, that's the way that you're going to be able to see, hey, you know, maybe I need to target this geographic location, or maybe I need to increase the age category. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it, if that's what you want to do.
Okay, so I mean, I'm new at Instagram and I had set up an Instagram account. So how do I change it to where it is a business account?
So I'm not sure if you can change it. It may be one of those things like Facebook that you have to go in and create another ad. I'm almost positive that that's the way that you would have to go. You would have to create another page specifically for your business. And I can walk you through that when we circle back on the other stuff that we're working on currently.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your guys' time. I know Robert and I appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with us. Hopefully we shared something valuable. I know Robert did. And we'll get the recording out and we will be ready for what's next. Before many of you go, is there any other classes that you want to see us teach? Any other follow-up that you want to see us do while you have us?
More of those.
What'd you say?
More examples.
More examples, okay.
In the future.
Well, and it's like today with Robert showing us that how to do that Facebook, ad on reduced properties, it'd be nice to see a second part to that, to where he actually went into design and designed the photo. And then, I mean, this is an obvious question, I think, but then obviously once you've designed that, then you send it to like Michelle Del Rosario to approve it before you actually post it, correct?
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to make sure, you know, sometimes saving it as a draft gives you the opportunity to then take a snapshot of it, send it to Michelle, get it approved before you then post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Terry, just so you know, I know we're working on your stuff, and we will do exactly that once we're done. We'll take a snapshot or download it so that you can send all that information to Michelle for approval.
Okay, perfect.
Everybody have a great day.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See
Have
you
a great
later.
day.
Welcome. Robert, I'll call you shortly.